Welcome back, everyone. JCL T20 Grand Final is about to start. News from the middle. Tokyo Titans are out there with bats in hand. We're a little early, so they're not quite going to start just yet. Exciting times ahead. Tokyo Titans are comfortable winners in the semi-final against the Rising Stars, won by 7 wickets, with plenty of time to spare, while the Falcons got home against the Kawasaki Knight Riders. It was a bit of a squeeze in the end. 23 runs, came off the 10th over to swing the game in their favour. Looks like the first ball is going to be bowled. So, single to get us up and running. Abhi Talang with the new ball, as he often is. Mandeep Singh just runs it into the gully and they scamper through. So, new batter on strike. Mandeep Singh. Amir Kashkamat's new batter on strike. He not out in the first semi-final. Big man is Amir. Hits a long ball. JCL T10 captain for the Falcons this year. And he's aggressive right from the start. That hasn't quite carried to mid-off. Bit of a rush of blood there, I reckon. Just looking at the field, you've got an extra cover and a mid-wicket. The mid-wicket is not on the rope, though. To be honest, he looks like he's just sort of wandered out of position outside the circle, but he's there. Chris, Sagir, Sabarish are all three in the comments. Welcome, gents. Anyone else who's around, feel free to get your comments on. Afroz Khan's there. G'day, Afroz. Yeah, if you're a subscriber, you can comment in the comments, and I will try and keep an eye on those as the game goes on. Abhi Talang continues. It's a bit wide, but allowed through. Umpires are Rob Newman and Dakshinamurthy Nadarajan, two of our experienced panel members. Piyush Kambara has popped up in the commentary box. G'day, Piyush. Welcome. Why aren't you here as well? You're bowling. You're bowling in the nets, helping prepare our men's team for the Asian Games, for which they will depart in just a few days. 2 days. Oh, big swings. Well, taking the action as if they were still playing 12-over games. The Titans. Big swings. Just 2 from the over. So, decent start as far as the Falcons are concerned. We're having a full 20 today in this game, after the morning was curtailed. These two teams looking for major silverware for the first time. Had a chat with some of the Titans boys in between the games, and they were saying that closest they've ever got to silverware was a North Kanto Division 1 final a few years back, which they did not win. Tokyo Falcons, of course, lost the Division 1 Grand Final a couple of years ago to the Chiba Sharks, put to the sword by Tsuyoshi Takeda. So someone's going to break a duck here this afternoon and get their hand on a major piece of silverware. South Kanto Finals tomorrow at Fuji, Sabarish says. That's why he's not here. That's tomorrow, Sabarish. That's tomorrow. Fuji's pretty close. South Kanto finals at Fuji. That would be a day to watch. It's a decent shout. Kept a little low, but Rob Newman is not interested. Despite big appeal, hands thrust wide. Umpire's not having any of it. Kuldeep likes an appeal. Kuldeep Bisht giving himself the new ball. Or earned the new ball, I should say. He's not captain today. Dev Mishra captaining the Falcons. Trying to sneak a few overs in early, perhaps, without anyone noticing that he's bowling. Long on, long off for Kuldeep. No one square of the wicket, so different field to what we saw in the first over. Sagi is very much in the umpire camp. He knows a not out when he sees one. Struck down towards mid-off. Slightly unnecessary dive and a parry. 1 run all day long. Clouds are still here. It's still pretty murky overhead. All morning we've struggled to see any blue sky. As I made my way up to the commentary box, the sky... Oh, that's a decent hit. No one out square. 1 bounce, 4 runs through mid-wicket. If you're going to bowl with long on, long off, you cannot bowl short. That's what Kuldeep's done. And that looks like Amaya Kesh come out. No, Mandeep Singh, sorry, who's crashed him through mid-wicket. Yeah, as I came up to the commentary box, you see behind the school building looked decidedly dark and broody. So we hope the weather stays away. The forecast says it's not going to rain. And the forecast is never wrong. Plenty happening at the SICG today. Japan men's team are here. Some visitors from Mitsui Knowledge Industries were having a hit in the innings break. Big supporters of the Japan cricket team. Sponsors of the women's team, of course. And a good bunch of people as well. So, last ball of the second over. Open stance from the batter as he looks to launch into the leg side, which he duly does. And that's a big 6. First of the game. Very, very premeditated by the looks of things. Mandeep Singh just stood there, widened his stance, and absolutely crashed it over square leg, I would say. So, suddenly 13 for none after 2 overs. 2 boundaries at the end of that over, changing the complexion of things a little. Poor old Chris. More rain in China. Chris, I'm flying in on Monday, mate. If you can fix it up by then, that would be great. I do not plan to spend 10 days not playing any cricket or even watching any cricket. I should rephrase that. I do plan to spend 10 days not playing cricket, but I want to be there to watch some. Japan team will be in the same hotel as all the other cricket teams competing. See rubbing shoulders with a few of the stars from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, etc. That looks pretty wide to me. One thing that I really noticed in the semi-final on ground 1 this morning was discipline from the bowling sides. Very few wides given away. I think a couple from both teams in the 12 overs. Such an important part of T20 cricket, maintaining the discipline with the ball, and everyone likes to focus on the big hits and the run scorers, but batters are often the glory boys. It's the bowlers who can win your games. Look at this field. I think they've just got the 1 fielder out now. Add extra cover. They've got 5 inside the circle on the offside. There must be someone somewhere. Who am I missing? That's squirted away. It's going to be safe. Going to run down through third man and away for 4. The Falcons wear a half red, half blue shirt, which means when I'm looking from the side on, they're exactly the same colour as the umpires. It is très confusing. Check out my French. So yeah. Well, Gully Point has kind of dropped. He's not down on the third man boundary, but he's somewhere close to it. You see another wide bowled. Going back to back does lead to a bit of fatigue among the bowlers, and you can see a bit of a loss of discipline in the second game. Fitness, of course, such an important part of T20 cricket. As discussed in the first semi-final, we were talking about players with excellent records who aren't quite getting the recognition at the Japan national level, and a big part of that is often related to fitness. Japan has pretty strict guidelines around fitness levels to get in the squads. The yo-yo test is still used to gauge people's fitness levels. No place to hide during a yo-yo test. Tell you that for free. So this over's taking a bit of time. 6 from it already. And that is going to be possibly 6 more. Yep. Beautiful hit. Amir Keshkamat got everything behind it. Whacked straight back over the bowler's head. And about 6 foot over the boundary. So 12 from the over now. That's a beautiful strike from Amir Keshkamat. Been around a while, this guy. Long levers. Good clean swing of the bat too. Turned that into a full toss. Tried to repeat the dose, but straight back to the bowler. So the end of the third over. 25 on the board. It's a good start from the Titans. Saw in the first game, semi-finals, scores perhaps a little lower than you might normally see playing on turf, but actually both teams went at around 8 and over, so 150, 160, I'm sure has been discussed by the batting team. Quite nice. I can commentate on the game without having to look across the ground too and check out the scores from the other game. I can just sit back and enjoy this one. Keshkamat and Singh both have 1416 to their name. 23 runs off the bat. And a couple of extras. Abhitan Lang's bowled a couple of wides. He's had his 2. Changing bowling now. Hitesh Chakrabarti will come on from Karasawa end. Opened the bowling in the first game. Held back and over this time round. Can't see too many of the Kawasaki Knight Riders players. They may have jumped ship and headed home. Well, that is smacked through the leg side again. He's enjoyed that shot. He's setting up specifically to hit it. He's got that front leg right out of the way already, just in his stance. And that's the ball fetched from outside off stump and just pumped through mid-wicket for 4 more. Dot ball that time. We continue. Oh, it's a big heave. Nothing doing. Hitesh Akbari just conceded the boundary so far. Mid wicket's out. Long on is out. Doesn't matter. That's clearing him. That's gone miles. That's hit the fence on the full. It's a huge 6. Big, big hit. Absolutely sailed that one. No catching that. So the ball's returned, but at the moment the Titans striking boundaries, 10 off us over already, they'll be happy with that, but not a lot of singles being taken. And those 2 boundary riders are pretty close together. They know that sort of cow corner is a danger area, and Mandeep Singh's on the front foot defensive. Look at that. Classic bit of batting in the Titans opener. So 4 dot balls in the over. It's a good over, 10 from it. No doubt about that, but could have been a really good over if you get a couple of 1s and 2s in there as well. I feel like they might just be letting the Falcons off the hook slightly. Bowling hasn't been outstanding just yet. So what do we have here? It's like a change of ends for Kuldeep Bisht. It's an interesting move. Mandeep Singh is 21 off 12, 2 4s, 2 6s, with just the 1 single. So only the 5 scoring shots from his 12 deliveries. Likewise, Amey Akesh come out as 12 off 12 with 1 4, 1 6. You can see Shubham Shukla making his way towards the tea room. One of the vanquished Kawasaki Knight Riders players. Tough season for them, 2 semi-final losses. But remaining on track for promotion from Division 2 for Division 1, which I'm sure would have been their primary goal at the start of the year. So, Kesh Kamat still trying to fetch the ball from outside off stump and hitting it, eyeing up that leg side. Long on, mid-wicket, they're still there, waiting patiently for the ball to come and plop into their hands. Hasn't happened so far. Well, that one's squished up in the air and taken at the 3rd attempt. Juggling catch. So, Falcons have the breakthrough. Made the catch look a lot harder than I think it actually was. The first wicket is down. Look at that, it was Hitesh Akbari bowling, not Kuldeep Bisht. I stand corrected. Or do I? I might not actually. More Wi-Fi problems. It's been one of those days. To the point where I don't actually know if anyone can hear me. Everything seems to have just stopped. Technology, hey folks. Don't count on it. good news is I've had my lunch from the tea room at the SICG. Delightful chicken and cheese sandwich. And a cheeky bag of crisps too. With the Titans having chosen to bat after winning the toss. Decent start, but that will likely be defined by what happens in the next couple of overs. We get towards the end of the power play. That's well struck, but we'll pick out the fielder. Mid-wicket boundary rider. One run taken. Well, not the clearest of calling. Signs there, perhaps. Pressure just on Anil Chandraya, the new batter. A decent over that one from Kuldeep Bisht. Just the 2 runs from it in the end, so a good comeback for him. And 5 overs gone, score sits at 38 for 1. Pretty good start, going at close to 8, as I mentioned before. 160 would have been, I'm sure, discussed. 8 and over. They're going to keep their best players in for as long as possible. Mandeep Singh is striking the ball pretty cleanly. Tokyo Falcons will feel confident in chasing down pretty much anything, of course, with their batting lineup. Last over of the power play. Change in the field. Mid-wicket remains out, and that's it. They're really ringing the infield on the offside. Cover, extra cover point. All in place. Third man is up. Mid-off is up. And there's a short extra cover as well. So 6-3 field with just 1 out. When you're going at 8 and over, it's pretty brave to only have 1 out of the circle. Captain sees a gut instinct thing. You've got the new batter on strike. Chandraya. Hitesh Akabali fancies the matchup. Short. Oh, he's got away with that. If he gets enough bat on that, that's a boundary. Fine leg is up. And quite wide as well. Mandeep Singh, you can tell, is just itching to be on strike. Would have punished that one, I'm sure. That's going to be wide. Dot, so lots of swings and misses here as they try and cash in on this final over of the power play. All he's actually doing is giving the momentum back to the Falcons. Bat on ball, Mr. Chandraya, is what I'd suggest. And there we go, straight through the fielder. It's an easy single. It's a little too late, I suspect, but Mandeep Singh will have an opportunity. Indeed, a second fielder drops back outside the circle now. Long on in place. 4 in the leg side. Looks like well, he's tried to hit it where he's had some success so far, but he's almost swung himself off his feet. No connection. No run. So, power play is done. 40 runs from it. It's been a good couple of overs for the Falcons. It was 36 after 4 overs and just 40 after 6. So just 4 runs for the last 2 overs. And the wicket, of course. Momentum can be such an important thing in the game of T20 cricket. It can often be about who keeps it the longest. So power play is done. Field will change. Same bowler will continue though. Hitesh Akabali. Or is that Kuldeep Bisht? Kuldeep Bisht is going to continue. There's a single there if they want it. They do. The round arm action from Kuldeep Bisht. A few paces and just fires it down. Looking at the field. Mandeep Singh's back on strike, so mid wicket and long on. Mid off is dropping back as well. Deep cover. And it looks like a, well, it looks like they've got a, he's going for it, so square leg will pick that up. It's sort of a forward square leg, a mid wicket and a mid on, so pretty close together, those 3 fielders. Single taken, Chandraya back on strike, so mid wicket comes in. So just 3 out now, 4 out now, sorry, mid off stays out. And they drop and run. Good running, sensible. Nothing wrong with that approach. Next couple of overs, they want to consolidate after a reasonable start. Could have been an excellent start, but they've ended up with 40 off that power play. I would have liked a few more, given the first 4 overs. Big swing and a big slice of luck. French cut, just past the stumps. Not enough on it. Either pace from the bowler or speed of the bat for it to go to the boundaries. So just a single. 16 teams entered the JCL T20 this year. Only 15 actually made a start with 1 withdrawal. Quarterfinals day brought everyone together back on the 2nd of September, and now finals day. The last 2 teams standing. And that is struck nicely. Square drive over point and runs away. Boundary rider on the offside couldn't cut that off. A welcome boundary. Chandraya needing to get going. It's now 8 off 10, so he'll feel quite a lot better. Runs that down to get a single. Nothing wrong with that shot. See coach Ardeen Ruhode wandering around the outfield. His game got abandoned this morning down on the river grounds. So looks like he's heading over to join the men's team training to give some of his expertise advice. Get the men ready for China. Unfortunately, Dino not travelling with the group. Japan Olympic Committee pretty strict on the amount of people who go. Jared Shearer's here. He'll be off to China. Speaks a bit more Japanese than Dino does our Jared. Kind of needed when you're a translator for a living. Dino will be at that level in no time, I'm sure. So I'm not able to get into the comments at the moment. Apologies for that. We'll see if I can find a way around that, just to check in on all our commenters. If you're new, don't forget to follow us on our other social platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And if you're on the Fancode app in the Indian subcontinent, don't forget to hit subscribe on YouTube as well for some of our other stuff that takes place. Most of our content, that's going to be 5 wides, I reckon. Fielder might cut it off. It does. Spares the blushes a little. So new bowler, Abhishek Anand, not hitting his straps. Couple of free runs. Ooh. Well, bowler will do the fielding himself out on the edge of the circle. Squirted into the leg side for a single. Stops to do his shoelaces up. Nicely played. Run down to third man for a single. Sagia reckons 140. I reckon they need a bit more than that if they're going to win this game. Have slowed up a little bit after that good start. Mandeep Singh still there. 24 not out. 18 balls faced. Length of time he spends out there may well define the outcome of this game. Tokyo Titans, as we've mentioned, not in the top division of Japan cricket. Sitting down in Division 2. Along with KKR, both fighting hard for promotion this year, and KKR top of the table with 7 wins from 7. Titans are second in that table in Division 2, but just the 4 wins from 9, so it hasn't been as plain sailing for them in the 40 over competition. It's another single after a fumble in the field, and they're not guaranteed to make finals. A few teams around them could still overtake them. Men in blue could overtake them. Looks like they are pretty much guaranteed to make finals, actually, now that I look at it a little bit closer. They'll have to win their semi-final if they're going to get promoted. You've either got to finish top and make the final to have a chance of promotion. Could we see 2 teams getting promoted? It's possible. Ooh, it's up in the air. It's going to be safe. Don't think it's going to run to the boundary. Leading edge, I think. It sort of popped up, really. So Barash has given a pretty broad spectrum for his prediction. 127 to 143. Really hedging your bets there, Sabal. Probably pretty accurate though. Much as I think they should be aiming towards that 150, 160 mark. The depth in batting does often come into effect in these kind of matches. Anil Chandraya has had a pretty good season. Titans leading run scorer in Division 2, 270 runs, an average of 54. Mandeep Singh is their second biggest run scorer with 236, an average of 47. So these are the 2 really for the Titans who they're going to be looking to score the bulk of the runs. Kesh Kamat's already back in the hut. Rashka Chandamal, perfectly capable player as well. So they go okay with the bat to the Titans. That's what's got them here. That's the depth that separates the top teams from the rest. The left arm spin. Patil into the attack. Left arm spin, such a weapon in this format of the game. Isn't that right, Piyush Kambale? Oh, he's giving him out. He's run himself out. What a wounder. What a way to go. Non-striker came charging down. Chandra is back in the hut. Well, you don't want to give your opposition runs. Just didn't set off very quickly. It's gone straight to the fielder. No dive. Yeah, it might be ruining that one, I think. Not a great decision. The striker didn't seem sure about it. Went behind square, wasn't his call. Let the non-striker make the decision. And the decision's cost him. So, new batter is out there. 56 for 2. For 3 now, sorry. That wicket falls. No, sorry, it is 2. Nalan Priyadashana is out there. He's the new batter. Very, very capable. Suspect Chandimal will come in next. So they're still batting around. Priyadashana very much a T20 specialist. In danger of running himself out first ball. Oh, goodness me. Well, umpire says not out that time. Mandeep Singh, sorry, is on strike now. Priyadashana is at the non-striker's end. Don't really need 2 run-outs and successive deliveries, do you? This Thurgate calls 145. We'll see, won't we, folks? So the left arm spin. Posing some questions. But Rashi Khan reckons they're not going to make 100. Doesn't like what he's seeing from the batting side. Fancies the bowlers. They've already got 56, fella. I mean, they should make it to 100. Things are slowing up, though. After a good start. Mandeep Singh has become somewhat calmed of late. Maybe feeling a bit of pressure. Priyadashana is just leaving balls outside off stump, so a dot, a run out, and 4 more dots. Maiden over from Abhijit Patil. And that's done the Titans no favours at all. Talked about momentum earlier on. Firmly with the Falcons right now. And they are a team who like to ride the crest of a wave when momentum is going their way. They'll look to get through their overs quickly if they're in the field. If they're batting, of course, they love to hit the boundaries. So, what have we got next? A few directions being handed out. 3 out on the leg side. 2 on the off. Long on, long off for both back. Mid wicket. And a cow corner, basically. Deep cover is moving around to a deep extra cover. Not really sweeping, he's a bit too far round, I would say. And that is spilled. Well, he's again, Mandeep Singh, I reckon that is, looking to run it down to third man. He's played that shot quite a lot today. Got too much on it. Fielder's right back on the circle in a kind of fly slip position. Couldn't hold it. Look, he got both hands to it, so there might be a chance that they come to Roo. I had an auntie called Roo. He was Australian. So the dot's starting to mount up here. 1 run from this over. It's a single in the last 9 deliveries. Falcons really starting to get on top. Need some kind of release. Priyadashana needs to try and manufacture something here. He's going to scamper a single, so he's off the mark. His 7th ball faced. Abhishek Anand, another dot. Nine runs conceded from his 1.5 overs so far. Just a couple from this over. Last ball. Just not timed into the offside. And a single. So, 10 overs gone. 59 for 2. Okay, we're back. He's gone after that. It's in the air. Man under it. So, pressure's told of those dot balls. Had a little chat at the 10 over mark. No drinks break. And first ball back. And unfortunately, for the Tokyo Titans, wicket's gone. Mandeep Singh has that front leg cleared. Looks to heave it over the leg side, as he's done a couple of times in the during the power play, but didn't get enough on it. Picks out Sarfaraz Petkar, looked like, mid-wicket on the boundary. Titans lose their 3rd wicket. So 2 pretty new batters out in the middle now. There's Rasika Thakuri, who's come in. Patil, the left arm spinner. Well, 8 deliveries, picked up a wicket and hasn't conceded a run yet. And so he continues. He is dictating this game right now. Tokyo Falcons well on top. Chopped into the offside, but no run. Thakuri is looking a bit annoyed already. Hasn't been out that long. 10 balls without conceding a run in a T20 cricket match is a pretty good effort. Throwing the wicket as well. And he's doing a fantastic job as Abhijit Patil continues. Another dot. Just looking at the second maiden in succession. Wicket fell in his first as well, of course, but that was a run out. That's up in the air. This is going to be out, I reckon. Fielder's underneath it. Safe hands. A double wicket maiden. He's taken 2 for zip in his 2 overs. There was a run out off his bowling as well. And Rasika Thakuri faces 4 dot balls and then gives his wicket away off the last ball. Just the value of being able to rotate the strike. Having a get-off strike shot. Just tapping it into the offside, leg side, get a run. Pressure builds if you don't do that. Try and play the release shot and get out. So the Titans, who got off to a really good start, 36 runs off the first 4 overs, managed just 23 in the 7 overs since and lost 4 wickets. So momentum remaining very, very much with the Tokyo Falcons. Abhijit Patil is bowling a spell like I've never seen before in T20. 2 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for none. And the early innings optimism and positive vibes from the team in yellow are quickly dissipating. Nalan Priyadashana is 1 from 7. Again, not able to rotate the strike, not able to put any kind of pressure back on the bowlers. So, 4 down, 59 on the board. Another new batter at the crease. Umpire's just having a bit of a chat, taking a bit of time to get things how they like it. So still waiting for confirmation on the new batter. Start of the 12th over. No run. JCL T20 just in its 2nd year, of course. Paddy Foley's inaugural champions in 2022. There you go. Just turned around the corner off his hip. Easy single. Rasika Chandamal. Has come in. As mentioned previously, he's in decent form in the 40 over stuff in Division 2 in his team are going to need him here. Batting at 6, there's 8.4 overs to go. Still quite a lot of batting to be done. If they can get themselves up to 130, still very much in the game. All is not lost, but they are going to need to take some initiative. At the moment, Titans are a bit too happy with allowing the Falcons to dictate the game. Four fielders out. 2 on the off, 2 on the leg side. 2 men straight, long on, long off. And a man either side of each of them. So no one on the boundary from extra cover all the way around to cow corner, basically. Saw Vinay Iyer in the semi play a delightful little scoop. And Chandamala's gone down one knee to try and flick that into the leg side. We pulled up, so they'll grab a couple. Wherever you're watching, thank you for being with us. Whether you're in Japan, whether you're elsewhere on the globe. Always a pleasure to have people checking in and seeing what Japan cricket's all about. 3 off that over. Titan struggles continue. 12 overs gone, 62 for 4. That run rate still above 5 and over, but that's largely because of the fast start Kesh Kamat and Kapil made in the first 4 overs. No surprise that Patil will continue. 2 overs gone, yet you can see the run. So he will be very confident of keeping the team stifled. Check out the field again. Long on, long off. It looks like there are 5 out this time. Dropped and run, could be a second on there. Oh, I'm quite alert to it. Almost certainly an overthrow available if they'd been looking. Chandimal back on strike. And it's a run conceded by Patel at last in his 13th delivery. He'll be livid. Absolutely fuming, I'm sure. Long off, the only man out on the offside. Long on, mid wicket. Square leg, all out on the leg, and that is going to go high, and it drops. Didn't get hold of it as well as he should have done. It's a full toss. It's really the worst ball he's bowled. Struck away into the leg side for another single. More like it. They just chops that into the ground. No run. I'm going to have a look at that again. I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. That's a drop catch. It's not the greatest bit of work. Game's just meandering a little. I have to be honest. Struggling to hold my gaze. I'm enjoying watching Patil bowl, has to be said. He is making the batters work and very much enjoying playing on the turf, I suspect. It was indeed a drop catch a moment ago, straight up in the air. The fielder just didn't get back into the right position to take the catch. Spilled it. Big let off. Kind of feel like it won't matter too much for the Falcons at the moment. 4 runs from the over, one of those off the drop catch, so Patil still has excellent figures of 2 wickets for 4 runs from his 3 overs. Priyadashana struggling to get going, 4 off 12. Chandimal 4 off 7. There's a conference between the batters. We're trying to come up with a plan here for how they're going to take this innings forward. Long off an extra cover on the offside with the men out. With the wicket long on, so just a 4 out at the moment. And he's given that. He's looked to pull one that's too short. Finger went up very quickly. Chandimal is on his way. Let's have another look at that. Moved across his stumps. Certainly standing right in front of them. Welcome ABC. Or should we just not allow South Asian cricketers to play in our cricket leagues? There are plenty of Japan players playing in this competition. It is a final. There were 16 teams. 2 got to the final and they happen to be teams mostly full of South Asians. They're allowed to play the game in Japan, just like they're allowed to play the game anywhere else. No need to get so upset about it. Thank you for your comment now. I'm now going to block you, okay? Thanks for joining. Really, really good to have you. Just a note, guys. Angry, abusive comments will be blocked. Goodbye. So, Abhishek Anand continuing to cause problems. Titans really fallen in a hole as this innings is worn on. Into the leg side, trotted through for a single. Anand. in again. Blocked into the offside. 5 down the Titans, and they find themselves in a tricky position now. I don't really know how to approach this, I think. At one point, I was talking at 160. Someone a while ago said they might struggle to make 100, and suddenly the guy's looking like a genius. Well, there you go, that's worked into the leg side. It's going to get pulled up, I think. The outfield's pretty slow after the rain overnight. And I'll just come back for a couple, but sensible shot, no risk. Just turned it around the corner. Just 3 from the over, so Nalan Pudiashano, I've mentioned him a couple of times. He's a good cricketer. He's a T20 specialist. We've seen him in the JPL. We've seen him in some other short format tournaments over the years. Produced some pretty handy performances. Struggled to get going so far. 6 or 14. Knowing that the Falcons chased 86 in 12 overs. Less than that, actually. We got 10 overs in the end. In the semi-final on the same pitch. Sitting at 69 for 5 with 6 overs to go. The Titans are going to need to do something here. They're going to need to find a way to 120. 10 and over from here gets them to 130. I'm not sure they're going to do that. Especially with this guy bowling. Patil continues. They will get a single. He's really dictated everything. He's completely stopped any momentum they had. And that is, oh, nearly stuck. Hand went out. I thought it got him. I think he got something on it. It was just enough to slow the ball up. So he saved a couple of runs. Seen one spectacular catch today already. Shabam Shukla took a diving catch, one-handed, in the semi-final. That one would have been equally spectacular, but didn't quite stick. So half a life. Patil continues to force the batsman into making mistakes. Just accurate, just floating it up on the stumps from that angle, around the wicket. Getting a hint of turn. It's good bowling. The batters don't really... You see, they haven't had the opportunity to play on turf as much as they'd like. That lack of experience on this surface is showing. That's a good shot. Struck down to long off. 1 run. There's plenty of singles on offer with this field. Smart footwork. Early decision making. Last ball of his spell. 2 for 9 at the moment. That's how it'll finish. 4 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 9. Outstanding stuff from the left armour. 74 for 5 after 15 overs. So, will they, won't they make 100? It's become the new game. Patil is done though. So with a bit of luck, they can still get themselves to 110 maybe. Whisper it quietly, I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Titans, it's the batting that's got them here. It's the batting that's let them down when it matters most. It's going to be a big ask for the bowlers to defend this. That's a good shot. No one down there. Perfectly safe. Hasn't got much bout in it. Short, just hoiked into the leg side, down towards fine leg. I'll come back for a couple. Bat on ball, guys. That's what you need to do here. Bat on ball and run as much as possible. Bad balls, put them away. There are gaps, particularly leg side. Any width on the offside can get punished as well. Kuldeep Bisht, his final over. Doesn't do a great deal with the ball, Kuldeep. Steps up, rolls his arm over. Kind of round arm action. That's a decent hit. Has he got enough on it? Fielder's there. And takes the catch. In the end, didn't look convincing. Right on the ropes. And Yunus is done for. Tried to fetch it. Would have been better off hitting that straight, I think. Kuldeep Bisht has his second. 6 down, the Titans. The struggles continue. Afros remains bullish in the comments. Convinced that still good batters to come and the competitive total still there for the taking. We'll have to see. Looks like they're trying to confirm the catcher, I reckon. Score will update shortly. Kuldeep's enjoying himself with the ball. He'll have a role to play with the bat as well, I'm sure. First ball just pushed into the offside by the new batter. Now, I mentioned earlier on in the day, the 28th, 29th of October, the Embassy Cup. Be here or be nowhere. Come and support your country of origin. Show your true colours, wear your shirt. Campaign to be launched pretty soon around that. Should be a great weekend of cricket. A lot of action, a lot of fun, a lot of activities around the ground. Great for families, great for friends. Great for people who just don't know that much about Japan cricket to come and have a look. Spend some time at the ground. Especially once this infernal heat has finally dissipated. Humidity should have dropped. Lots happening. Raising some funds for charities. Raffle prizes on offer. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I've become Scottish. Right, change of bowler. Live score just seems to have frozen up again. Sorry about that. Ooh, playing a miss. Bit of width from the new bowler. That's well struck. Picked up the fielder though. Sharp bit of fielding. Picking the ball back in, but in the end, after all that, no run. Sagi is contemplating a trip to Japan in September, October. It's infinitely better than July, August, mate. Promise you that. Autumn and spring. Autumn and spring, absolutely the times to be in Japan. Oh, it's a great shot. It's one of the best shots of the innings. He's just waited on that and run it through the gully and away for 4. Managed Kapil coming into the attack pretty late. Really, really nice bit of batting that. Just touch. Looks like a bit of catch-up going on with the live score. Hopefully we'll get there. Looks like it was Rusk. Oh goodness me, I don't know what's going on with the live score. It's a mess. Hopefully that'll get fixed up. In the air, straight to him, taken. Struggles continue. Wickets are falling. Falcons showing safe hands in this final. They really struggled in the semi-final. We have seen one relatively simple chance go down, but for the most part, they've been pretty good out there today. This afternoon, I should say. Most of the catches have been hit straight to them. He's still going to pouch them. The Titans really look down the scorecard. There's an awful lot of people getting caught in the ropes. I think where they've let this game go is inability to rotate strike, hit into gaps, scamper, run hard. We've just been looking to crash boundaries. It's a tactic that's helped them get this far, so I can understand why they've gone with it. But ultimately, I think it's going to leave them coming up short today. Hit into the leg side. Abhi Talang's back in. Struggles with his line a bit, going across the left-hander, but Left-hander going across the right-hander, sorry, but he's worked out that time. Another catch, another ball high in the air. And he has his reward. So just a leading edge. There's a ball outside leg stump. I don't know quite how he's managed to get that to gully. Turned it around and popped up. So, this innings continues to peter out a little bit for the Titans. The Falcons will be sensing an opportunity to lift some silverware today. First year in their new uniform. Might be first time's a charm. That's just pushed across to one on, trots in. Game's moving a little bit in slow motion now. 83 for 8, last ball of the 18th over. Our score is back up. If we just look down this scoreboard, the scorecard. 1 LBW, 1 run out. 6 catches. That's a decent shot though. Straight down the ground, 4 runs. There are runs there. There for the taking. This pitch is blameless really. Pitch has played pretty well as far as I'm concerned. That's just a nice half volley that he's drilled back past the bowler. Good shot from Bhupendra Sharma. Got Saddam Hussein with him at the other end. Don't see him on too many cricket pitches. $88 for 8 after 18. It's a lot of 8s. Lucky number if you're Chinese. Anyone who's seen Rogue Trader out there, Nick Leeson and the 5/8 account, he lost a lot of money. Okay, Manish Kapil, 4 runs conceded from his 1 over so far and a wicket. Pretty economical. It's another ball looping in the air. Should be caught. Is caught. Looking at Sarfraz Petco out there. Keeping his cool. Manish Kapil has a 2nd wicket. Good day to be a bowler. Abhi Talang's been expensive. 3 overs, 1 for 22. Kuldeep Bisht going to run a ball. 2 for 24. Hitesh Akabali's just bowled a 2. 1 for 13 and the only bowler to go wicketless so far. Abhishek Anand did a good job. 4 overs, 1 for 16. And then the chap who really turned the screws. Abhijit Patil, left arm spinner. 4 overs, 2 maidens. 2 for 9. It was those maidens that really strangled everything. The early wickets was taken by Patil and Bisht. The run out of Chandraya, pretty important. But once Mandeep Singh fell, in the 11th over, things fell away pretty quickly. Manish Patil, 1.1 overs. 2 for 4. The Titans now are in danger of not batting out their overs. Tell you what, I laughed at someone on commentary earlier. Forget who it was, but he said, you know, not going to make 100. And at that time, they were 56 for 2 after 8 overs. And, well, oh, that is a sharp catch. Hit straight just to his left, short cover. He's nabbed it. It's a great take. And the Titans are all out for 88. Manish Kapil's finished with 3 for. Wide delivery, but a really sharp catch in close. Really, really well done from him. ABC's back, trying to justify his comments. I think if you look at the UAE team, Mr. ABC, you'll find that an awful lot of those players were born there. Does that make them any less eligible than someone who's native? If they've come through the programs, learned their cricket in that country, I think they're pretty eligible to play there, aren't they? Well, if they've got one parent that's half from one country and half from somewhere else, are they any less eligible either? I think, my friend, you are digging yourself a rather big hole. Anyway, 88 all out. Tokyo Titans, 18.3 overs. Falcons will be back in about 10 minutes to take this chase on. 89 needed to win the game. We'll see you soon. Well, the teams are back out there. At least the Titans are. The umpires are out there, just waiting on the two Falcons batters. 89 the target. 20 overs to get there. And a low-scoring final in the end. Didn't look that way this morning. Semi-finals were pretty high-scoring games. Or at least the one on here was. 12 overs, 150 runs scored. Two teams look to be going all right. And would you believe it? With a guest of honour. He snuck in stealthily beside me. Make sure his mic's working. I don't even know how to do that. Dino Raholde. Dino, welcome to the commentary box.
Yeah, my first time here. Not a bad day for it, isn't it?
Not a bad day at all, mate. Don't be afraid to speak up a little bit. Now, you've been pretty busy, mate. I've seen you wandering around. You're over with the men's team. What's going on over there?
Yeah, a bit of center workout practice for the boys before they head off in a day and a bit. Yeah, a few boys looking really sharp. Excited to see how they go in a week and a bit.
Yeah, it will be interesting, absolutely.
Getting a bit dark, isn't it?
Getting a bit. It's been like this all day. Look at those clouds.
Yeah.
Looks like the end of the world's coming over there. Now, Dino, 88 all out in 18.3 overs. You're going out to try and defend that. What are you saying to your teammates?
Yeah, I reckon they have to strike early here. A few wickets up front will give them a bit of a chance to, take the punt in the middle overs, hopefully sneak home. But yeah, it looks like Falcons have the upper hand here.
Yeah, I'd be definitely rather be in the Falcons camp. They've sent out Siddharth CB and Abhishek Anand. Siddharth excelled in the first semi-final. Got them off to a flyer, made 28 off 20 odd balls. Nalan Priyadashana with the ball for the Titans. Asking questions first up. I think wickets are going to be key. I don't think they're going to defend 88. They need to bowl them out, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt. Still have them big men Safras to come in, so you gotta have strike.
He could finish the game in an over, couldn't he? Saw that last time in the semis.
Yep. Yeah, he did just that.
Ooh, that's
Looks like sneaking down leg
Yeah.
side, that one.
umpire Natarajan not interested in that shout. Got a few people on the chat, Dino. We've got Sagir with us. We've got Shun. We've got Sabal dropping in from time to time. We've got Badulashi Khan, otherwise known as Nostradamus, who made the call at 56 for 1 that the Titans wouldn't make it to 100 and proved to be quite right. Another big shout, nothing doing.
Well, they got off to a good start, the good power play, but they
36 of the first 4 overs.
Yeah.
And then things went awry.
Yeah, you got to be smart in the middle overs, especially playing on these decks. Once you get out of the power play, you just have to keep on knocking it around and take a punt with the last few overs, score a few boundaries, sneak to 120, and you've got a chance.
You mentioned the deck there, Dino. Shun's asking who made it. This is your hard work, isn't it? Or at least your oversight.
Yeah, bit of my input on the decks, but I think they're playing alright. Without the bit of rain we had before we made them, they would have been far much better than this, but they're playing pretty well.
We've had a lot of overnight rain this week, really. As the temperatures have dropped, the rain's sort of arrived, but thankfully it stayed away so far, and just one off that opening over, single off the first ball, and then 5 dots to Abhishek Anand, who struggled in the semi-final as well, actually. Didn't really get going in that game. I feel the pitch has been pretty blameless for a score of 88 all out. It looked like most of the dismissals, I think 8 or 9 of the dismissals were just balls hit up in the air. There was a run out and an LBW. I haven't seen too much inconsistent bounce, so yeah, I think it's been a pretty fair job by yourself and the ground staff, and you've had some help from some of the boys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess I would say from my point of view is guys are used to playing on synthetic, and I guess you have to think more about what you're doing when you play on a turf wicket. It's a different game on a turf wicket, and you need some game smarts to sort of take you to a decent score, especially if you're batting.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, a couple off spinner in. The looks of things. Carl and long on.
Yeah, going with spin early.
Yeah, don't mind this at all.
I don't mind this either. Asked a few questions. Well,
You
you've got to work the stumps, haven't you?
for sure. Can't be bowling there with no square. Got away with that one, I think.
Definitely. Just looking around the field. Long on. And a deep square. Saw the Falcons bowling quite a lot of their innings with just one out in the power play, despite the fact they were going at eights. So, there you go. Totally safe shot. It's calculated risk, that. No one out there. If they'd had a sweeper on the offside, there may have been a chance. Instead, a couple of bounces, 4 runs.
Yeah, I reckon the off spinner is just bowling a bit too wide there with 2 people on the leg side. Got to be mid on leg, really.
Yeah, one thing I noticed in the first innings, and we've seen it just there, bowlers not bowling to their fields. Kind of criminal, isn't it? And what does that come down to, Dino? Is that more of a bowler's responsibility, or is that captain?
Well, I reckon it will be the bowler's responsibility.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
There's a bit of width as well. I reckon he got away with that one too.
But you need the bowler really to take ownership of setting their field, and then if they get hit in a gap, then it's on them.
Yeah,
So some bowlers perhaps a little bit shy, they let the captain set the field for them, and then they get the bowling wrong.
Yeah.
Plans aren't working, traps being set, going awry. You need to recalibrate pretty quickly. That's a decent delivery though.
Yeah, double. I reckon he could have his 45 a bit squarer.
Mm-hmm.
Cover the big gap for the sweep.
Yeah.
Give him a bit more protection towards square there.
As an off spinner yourself, you know a bit about that. Ball's just hit out to that man on the 45.
Yeah, especially when you're bowling in the power play.
Sorry, Alan, the 90 that one. Yeah, absolutely. I think that we've seen these guys very, very fine. A short fine leg at the moment.
Yeah.
And there is a big old gap down there.
Big gap. And now Carl is going way in front, which opens that big gap even further. Let's see, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, if you're a batter, you'll be lining that up. And Anne's not off the mark yet. And there's a run there, I reckon, if they'd been a bit more alert. These 6 dot balls. Saw the left arm spinner for the Falcons bowl. His first 2 overs are back-to-back wicket maidens.
Oh, wow.
So really had an impact. In fact, his first was a wicket maiden, but the wicket was a run out. And his second over was a double wicket maiden.
Ooh.
So
He's cleaning up.
ripped the heart out of the Titans batting and killed any momentum they had from that fast start.
There's
That's a
the
decent
gap
shot,
we're
and that's the
talking
gap you were
about.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Dino. Come in for your expert thoughts.
Yeah.
4 runs for the Falcons. Slow start from them, but there's no need to hurry. Got all the time in the world. They only need to go at 4.5 and over to win this game, but from a personal point of view, I'd rather they didn't take it all the way to the 20th over. It seems to happen a lot to me. I get low-scoring games that you think are going to be done inside 12 overs, and
They go all the
still
way.
sat here 45 minutes afterwards. Trains are leaving, buses are leaving, it's dark, and I'm getting calls from the wife asking where I am.
Yeah, it's a scurry to go down, isn't it?
It is. So, 2 overs gone, 11 for none. Over from Chandamal, looking alright till that last delivery. It's ended up going for 10. Priyadashana's continuing.
Just going back to field sets again. Look where fine leg is. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, look, fine leg is virtually a backstop down there, isn't he?
Yeah.
You've only allowed 2 fielders out, and you've got one as a backstop.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where their other one is.
Oh, they've gone with 1 for this over.
They've gone with 1 man out, and he's an extremely fine leg. I don't mind that, I suppose. You know, you're trying to put some pressure on the batter. Oh, it's well bowled. So, Dino, question from Chris Thurgate. Before I get into that, though, I'll just mention that we've removed ABC. He wasn't particularly pleasant to have involved in the chat, so he's gone. Don't want this conversation to descend into a debate around ethnicity and how legitimate people playing for a certain country are. It's just really boring. But on a far more interesting note, Dino, you've got a tour coming up, off to Malaysia next month.
Yeah.
Chris asks, how's that going? How are the boys? They taking that momentum from 5 wins on the trot that they got in Darwin into the new
Yeah,
new event?
actually met with all the boys last night at the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, was that you leading the chat or some of the players giving their opinions?
Yeah, just a general chat to just check in on how everyone is going. Everyone prepping well. If they need anything, just touching base to see how all the boys are doing. But yeah, it was
Parents as well, or just the boys?
no, just the boys, just
Probably
a team thing.
And the 3 new selections in that call?
Yeah, they're
Tom O'Rear, Charlie
yeah,
Hines, and Hugo Kelly.
yeah. They're just
They
bit
excited?
quiet and nervous, but yeah. Try to make it as jovial as possible and just get the boys chatting. But you know, the boys a bit quiet at times. But yeah, it was a valuable meeting, which was pretty good. Hoping to meet all the boys soon, and yeah, what would be a very interesting assignment in Malaysia. First ACC event we've attended in close to just over
20
15
years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time ever for the 19s.
Yeah. So it's a great opportunity for the boys, and if we do well, you know what's going to materialize from it. You go to the next stage, which means more cricket for everyone, isn't it?
Absolutely. Not just this time either. This Premier Cup is a qualifier for the direct qualifier for the Asia Cup at the under 19 level, and also a direct qualifier for the Asia Cup next year. So you get through to that semi-finals. You got 2 bites of the cherry to finish in the top 3 and book yourself a place at back-to-back Asia Cups, which would be quite the thing. Well, half a shout there. I don't think there's anything on that. That last over, just 1 run from it. So a little bit of pressure building up on the Falcons. I mean, they're in no hurry, but realistically, we'd like to see them play a few shots.
I reckon there's a chance coming here.
Yeah, there could
Yeah,
be.
something
Frustration
brewing here.
starting to build. Shouldn't be giving away extras, I don't think.
Yeah, but of course, to answer Chris' question, yeah, boys are going well. A few boys playing domestic cricket. Ritvik scored a dirty 100 last week.
Yeah, maiden 100 in Division 2, 139 off 90
Yeah.
balls, not out as well.
Not out as well, yeah. Nick Hill scored a good 48 in the Com Cup, I heard. So yeah, the boys are looking good, preparing well. Hopefully, yeah, once we get together and have a training session in Malaysia, we will be set and ready to go.
So what are the ambitions for that tournament then? I mean, you know, it's 4 groups of 4, 16 teams, it's a big event. And you got to get out your group. Only the winning team gets out of the group. You've got Indonesia, Malaysia and Hong Kong in the group. Obviously, you've played Indonesia out in Darwin and beat them, I think, by 8 wickets, if I recall. So you'd be pretty confident of getting across the line in that game. Malaysia, we don't know a great deal about, and Hong Kong, traditionally pretty strong at under 19 level. So confident that you can push your way out of the group and have a go at the semis?
For sure. Obviously, we've gone into this tour with quite a few spinners in our team, so it changes the dynamic of the team and how we're going to sort of approach and play. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for the new boys, and obviously try to get some overs out of our spinners. We've got a bit of variety with our spinners, going in with the left arm spinner, which would be very exciting. But
yeah, 3 spinners in the squad, a change from Darwin, where we just had the 1.
yeah, so
And you mentioned the boys' form in domestic cricket. You know, Tom O'Rear's come in off the back of 200s in the under-19 league this year. So players earning their place, an actual competition for places, which is pretty nice, isn't it?
yeah, for sure, it's a good place to be in, especially Japan under-19 cricket. Ooh, bit of a scurry there.
Not taking too many risks in this power play, the Falcons. I'm a little surprised. I suppose there's no point in wild swinging and getting yourselves out, but at the same time, there's, you know, I guess they're working on the assumption that because it's a low total to defend, they're going to have players inside the circle for most of the innings. So you can see they're still just got the one player out down at fine leg, and they should just be able to hit over the top when they want to. Get the chance, get their eye in, get used to the deck, and then play your shots. But these are the same players who played on this pitch in the semi-final and didn't seem to have too many troubles there. A little bit surprised by the approach. But no one out yet. 14 for none after 4.2 overs.
Yeah, I reckon what I could add on to that is a situation like this, if they go bang bang and lose 2 wickets here and you get 2 new batters on this wicket, it becomes a different ball game.
Yeah, you've kind of wasted those 4 overs of the power play suddenly.
Yeah, so it's touch and go really.
Found a lot of the players on the Titans side didn't have a get off strike option. They hit some nice boundaries, but there were a lot of dot balls, even in that power play when they were going well. I think after the 4 overs they were 36, but I think almost 30 of those had come in boundaries. That's a decent shot, no one out.
Yep.
Risk free, not a great delivery, but a shot played at last. So 4 runs, Abhishek Anand. Deshan has just lost his length a bit there, I think. Full toss. Quickly onto it. Freebie.
Yeah, it's vacant mid-wicket area there.
No, I didn't get out onto the outfield after the first game started. You were walking around earlier on. Still a bit wet out there. Is the ball going to be soaking up some of the moisture from the grass, or do you think it's dried off enough that shouldn't be a factor?
Well, surface area is sort of dried off a bit, so it shouldn't be a concern. But it just seems like if you just bowl wicket to wicket on this deck, they can't get it away. Just a bit of width, and if you get a bit too straight, it's a bit easier to get away.
Yeah, 8 off that over. It's 22 for none after 5. Falcons are just trundling along. 67 runs required to win the game. Just on the ACC thing, Dino, of course, for those who don't know, we have Challenger Cup, Premier Cup, Asia Cup. That's the pathway, and it exists for men, women, and under-19s. They do have an under-16 competition as well, which seems to be split into east and west zones, and you just have a one-off competition there and 35 overs. Does provide a lot more international cricket for our teams. Going to provide a fair bit of, going to require a fair bit of investment from the JCA to try and be involved in all of those. From your point of view, when you sit and look at these and you look at the opportunities to compete, I appeal for a stumping, but I think he got back. How do you prioritise those? I mean, ICC tournaments obviously lead to a World Cup and come with funding and everything else that goes with it, but the ACC tournaments perhaps offer you a chance to actually win a few more games, particularly at the challenger level. So how do you look at that? And when you look at the under-19s in particular, and the women, of course, learning how to win games is so important.
Yeah, for sure, you're right in that sense of playing more games and just exposing players to this level of cricket where it's a bit more competitive.
I mentioned the women. You just got back from Vanuatu. 3 wins down there. How was that?
Yeah, pretty good. I have to say the group did really well to get the 3 wins, and I guess the biggest takeaway was the girls realizing the gap between the better teams and us is not as big as they thought, which gives them something to play for, something to train for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been 4 years since we had an EAP tournament. And I think if anyone had said 4 years ago that Vanuatu would have won the next tournament, no one would have believed them. If you'd said Vanuatu would win all their games and PNG would lose out, no one would have believed it. Vanuatu were nowhere really 4 years ago. And you look at how they went about it and won every game. They won 8 games, including the 2 T20 matches that we played with them prior to the tournament. So it just shows you how quickly things can change in women's cricket.
Yeah, for sure. They look like a really good outfit, Vanuatu. Very balanced team, and I guess did really well to just restrict teams in the mid overs. Teams just could not get away against them, and they kept on striking in the mid overs, which made it very hard for opposition teams to put any bit of pressure on them with the bat. And vice versa, when they went into bat, just made good use of the power play and killed the games early.
Yeah, they were very good at getting bat on ball and just running. It sounds so simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's amazing how some teams struggle with it. 2 out now, even though the power play's done. 23 for none at the end of that power play. That one's kept pretty low, but
Looked like he hit it.
Umpire wasn't interested.
Like bite. What do you reckon? Are the clouds drifting in from the left, mate?
It is dark. It's really dark. It's only not even 4 o'clock yet. Oh, that's a good shot. He's hit that cleanly. Fielder's not going to get there. 4 runs. Sid RCB is a player I quite like. I've seen him a bit. And when he gets going, he plays some beautiful shots. Played a couple of wonderful drives over extra cover in the semi-final. He's been very slow getting going out here today. Let's see if that shot just acts as a bit of a release and a bit of a chance for him to free his arms a little bit. And I'm sure there's a few nerves around in the final. And you mentioned those clouds. I mean, look, the required rate's still only 4.5 and over, so we've passed 5 overs. If it does tip down with rain, this game is going to be completed either way. Whether a DLS needs to get involved. So wickets do become really important.
Yeah. Well, look back to just that 4 to Carl corner. I reckon Carl was in the wrong spot as well. So just missing a few tricks.
The art of captaincy, eh?
Yeah. Slow wicket. You got to have your long on and your square. Quite square. Everything is a bit slow and it's getting dragged square.
Yeah, we even saw that in the Titans' first innings. A lot of the shots that they did get away were drags.
Yeah.
Saw Mandeep Singh open the batting with very open stance, his front leg almost pointing towards mid-wicket, giving you a fairly good indication of where he's trying to hit it. Couple of runs there.
Yeah, just looking at
that. Into the 30s now and starting to get going. A few runs coming off this over. 7 already. 1 ball left after that dot.
I don't know if the Falcons dugout look nervous or zoned into the game.
Tell you what they look like, you know. They look like a bunch of umpires. From this side, the red pointing towards us.
For sure.
It's killing me. When they're fielding, I can't spot the umpire. Trying to count the amount of fielders in the circle. Like, oh no, that's a square leg ump. These 2 opening batters have dug in a little bit. Scoring at 4 and over. That's all they need to do. I suspect they'll free their arms as they start getting towards that total. Be interesting to see if they send out someone like Sarfraz next, just to try and get this done a bit quicker. Sure, Kuldeep Bisht will fancy a bat. Does feel like a bit of a procession at this point. As we look ahead ahead to next year, Dino? What are you most excited about? Going to be a busy April and May, as it often is.
Yeah, obviously, as an organization, we want to get better. Hopefully, just do everything we've been doing just a little bit better in all facets. And yeah, a few. Ooh,
Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Big old heave from Abhishek Anand. Not too much on that.
But obviously, going back to that, just hosting events better. Just make sure we avail a good cricket experience for everyone. And yeah, we have another good year of cricket going forward. Couple international tours to look forward to next year. Obviously, touring teams to just get a bit better, win more games for Japan.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an East Asia Cup for the women. Still trying to get an East Asia Cup for the men off the ground.
Yeah.
There'll be a sub-regional qualifier for the men. And a couple of touring teams keen to come over. So, yeah, a fair bit in the offing. 2025 looks like the real busy year, though, doesn't it, for international tournaments? But deal with that when we get there.
Yeah, but I guess looking forward to 2025, the most important year for us will be 24 to just make sure everything's
set up and ready.
Everything's set up and ready. We're prepared. Everyone is prepped and ready to go.
Got Shun in the comments talking about the uni competition dying. Says there used to be 20 plus teams. I mean, even when I arrived, there was only about 6 or 7 teams in the men's and the women. So I think talk of that dying is probably exaggerated. I don't think there's a lot of top talent coming through the unis, particularly in the men's. The women's is a little different. The uni league is really a place for the men to learn what the sport is, hopefully develop a love of it and be able to play on a social level. I don't see it as a high performance pathway. Again, as I said, slightly different for the women. There's still a lot of talent transfer that can come out of that, and that's an area that you're quite interested in, isn't it, Dino? Finding these talented female sports people and turning them into cricketers. We've seen other countries do that with pretty good effect, and we're quite keen to do the same.
Yeah, for sure, especially in women's cricket. If you can find a few athletic girls, it's very easy to transfer the game of cricket to them.
Yeah, any sport that involves.
That looks
hello.
like the first bowler.
Sanket Pandari chipped that straight to short cover, first ball.
Oh.
Wow, Navjit Thakur's up and about. And this is what you were saying, Dino.
Yeah, bang bang, 2 new batters in now.
You don't get the cash in on the run scoring opportunities. 2 quick wickets. And suddenly there's a bit of pressure on you. 32 for none has become 32 for 2 in the space of 2 deliveries.
I'll give you a situation here. If they get suffers early, that's a lot of pressure onto the dugout. This could be the game for the opposition. A couple good overs here. They might just steal this one away, I reckon.
That's a hat-trick ball, Dino. Sarfraz Petkar coming in. Last ball of the over. 32 for 2 in a final. What shot do you reckon he plays?
Well, he only plays one way, doesn't he?
He does only play one way. Absolutely. Let's see how he takes us on. Obviously lost his blue pads. Back out there in the white. Straight from the village green again.
Yep, does look very village.
Perhaps he's realised that he needs some different pads. He's now running back off again. Perhaps an appeal for timed out. Not sure what's happening.
Yeah, a bit of break and play here.
Just slowing things up a bit. Why? He's not, they
Looks
would
like
be. They
he's
would
changing
be.
his gloves.
They would be allowed to appeal here. You have to be ready to face the next ball. Absolutely no excuse for this, I'm afraid. Absolutely no excuse. If I was the Titans, I would be appealing.
Looks like he had forgotten to wear his box.
Wow.
If wearing white pads is village. not wearing a box is even worse, isn't it?
Did they chat to your mate Bebe about that?
I've heard a good story about that.
Never bats in the box, Bebe Miyagi. Highly questionable approach to the game of cricket.
Oh, backing himself to hit the ball.
He's missed it a couple of times. I can tell you. Had to take 2 days off work once.
I reckon wicket to wicket here. Safras might play across the line, missed straight one.
There you go. Hat-trick ball.
Hit over
Whacked
extra
it
cover for
over.
6.
Extra cover. Long off. Having a check if that's 4 or 6.
Yeah, just a lack of game sense here by the
6
opposition
runs.
team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Sarfraz only about one way. This game might get a bit of a move on. Bit of chat about the uni comp. Yeah, COVID has really hurt the uni competition. I'll give it that. Certainly 2 to 3 years of no university cricket. The way the cycle works is the third years teach the first years. And if you go 2 years without first year or second year, you've got no one to teach the next group coming through. So it's definitely problematic. But also I just think there's so many other things to do for kids these days. They want to do other things. Lack of players coming through that pathway. The committees haven't been as active as they used to be. Perhaps not as willing to take on advice as they used to be. And they've tended to focus a lot on playing hardball cricket straight away, when perhaps modified formats might be a better way to introduce the game to new players. JCL remain very keen to help the uni committees, but they very much have their own way of doing things. Kansai region still seems to be going okay though. Dorsetshire Uni been winning a few titles over the last few years, so it's not all bad. Dorsetshire women's team in particular have been doing very well. So Sarfraz back on strike. He's 6 off 1.
Yeah.
Field's certainly spread now.
This game could change really quickly, yeah.
5 out.
Yeah, they've gone 5 out for Safraz.
They've just been ticking over at 4 and over throughout the innings, but that's going to change. And that is dropped.
I think that's a game. That's a game. Dropped a point.
What would you call that? Short cover, forward point? I'm not sure, but he's cut it straight at him.
It's a cover point.
He's had to move a little bit. He was falling as he tried to take the catch, and ball has gone straight in and straight out. So this is when the game does get quite entertaining. Sarfraz.
I guess it's going to be one of those games you've had for a while, Alan.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we go. Chopped it into his off stump.
got him next ball. It's getting exciting now.
6 of his first ball, dropped off his second ball, chopped on in his third. Sarfraz Petkar likes to keep us interested. He's done. 39 for 3. And the Falcons are wobbling. Sarfraz trudging off slower than Slow Joe McSlow, winner of last year's Mr. Slowman competition. Still plenty of batting to come, but they've lost 2 big guns here in Sarfraz and Sanket. 2 players that the Falcons would have hoped to see them through, and I'm still, questioning the approach and the power play from the openers. I just would have liked to have seen someone try and take some initiative and grab the game and really, bat like they were batting first. I'm sure they wouldn't have batted that way if they'd been batting first. They just sort of let the game meander. And now they've caused themselves a bit of a wobble. I don't have the DLS past score with me, but these wickets going down is not going to help them, and sky's not getting any lighter, is it? Conditions not getting any easier out there to bat.
Yeah, I think
Decidedly gloomy.
think that wicket could change the game here.
Siddharth CB is still there. 15 off 21. Been a bit of a bystander the last few overs. Kuldeep Bisht is the new batter in. Nicely played. That'll just be a single.
I would have my extra cover real tight and close to the stumps there. Trying to save that easy one to long off like that last shot.
That's wide and whacked. One bounce, 4 runs through the covers. No sweeper out there. They're all on the leg side. And again, it's just a bit of a questionable fielding setting, isn't it? You've got all of your offside fielders inside the circle apart from long off. And then you've got 3 guys on the rope on the leg side. And the guy bowls, half volley way outside off stump. It's not bowling to your field, and it's going to kill you in a low-scoring game.
Yeah, once again, it's just lack of game sense and just a game plan to how you're trying to win the game.
Yep. That's the difference between the club environment and the HP environment, isn't it, Dino? These are the kind of things that you're trying to teach your players.
Yeah.
Have plans, know what you're doing. Don't just set a field that you think is a good field. Set a field that's a good field for your bowler, to that particular batter. So just 3 out now. Is there a feeling that teams, when they're defending a low score, they think they should only have 2 or 3 fielders out because they need to keep people in to keep the runs down? Do you think they're missing a trick there? Because, the catchers seem to be taking on the boundary more often than not.
I guess an important part of it is just realizing where you actually want the batters to hit you to. If you've got 3 on the leg side, you predominantly should be hit through the leg side.
That means bowling straight. That's a good clean hit. It's going to clear long on, I reckon. It's a big 6.
Yeah, it's a big 6.
Kuldeep deciding to free his arms, having a swing. Thakur is 2 for 9 off 3.3 overs prior to that shot. It's a big clean swing of the bat. Could have had 4 fielders out there, they wouldn't have caught it. Sailed miles over the rope. And he's looking to go again. Hit it straight at the cover fielder. Manages to stop it. 50's up for the Falcons. 50 for 3 in the 10th over, halfway through the 10th over. So that 6 has just changed the feeling. Still a lot of dot balls though. Oof. Not the greatest shot. No run. 10 overs done. 50 for 3. 39 needed. So that required rate has dropped below 4 for the first time. And scoring rates hit 5 for the first time.
Gone sweeper, long off, long on, cow. Can't have any drag downs here.
Yeah, he's probably got away with one there, isn't he? Don't mind that fielding position though. Man in close on the leg side. Just get in the batter's eye line. You've got the man in close on the offside as well, just out of camera shot. Both those fielders are right there. Just get someone in the batter's eye line and just make him think twice about where he's going to hit the ball.
Yeah, I guess that guy had shot a very fine shot third is a wasted fielder there.
Yeah, I mean, what's he doing? I don't really see him contributing much. If the ball comes at him.
I reckon that his bowling is just the right pace on this wicket.
Chopped down again. And he's coming off just a handful of paces too, so he's getting through his overs quite quickly.
Yeah,
And
even if
that's what you really want at this level. With a low score, when you're bowling second, guys who can race through their overs, and you've got the fielders have got to be on it as well. Suddenly an over's gone, and you're like, oh, crap. That's a good shot. It's beating the point fielder. Boundary rider will not cut it off. He's made an absolute meal of that. Oh, he's had a nightmare. He's ended up lying, facing the dirt, grasping at thin air as the umpire signals 4 runs. Wounder. We'll have a replay. I'm sure the fielder's going to love watching this again. It's just there. Just needs to pick it up. Falls over, trips over, slips. Nightmare.
I'm sorry, but that didn't deserve 4.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, but that didn't deserve 4. Yeah, I reckon this guy's just bowling quick enough on this wicket, which is what you need.
Yeah, that boundary, the only runs from the over. 5 dots otherwise. You know, the Falcons are just doing enough. And you feel the Titans, I mean, I don't know how much you saw of the Titan innings, Dino, but certainly the last 10 overs, they just allowed it to drift. And you kind of feel if they'd got themselves up to 110, 115, looking at this now, things might have been a bit more interesting. But they chose to bat first. They won the toss and opted to bat, the Titans. Made such a good start and then just drifted away. They didn't let the game, they didn't try and force anything. They didn't try and do anything really until it was too late and the wickets just kept falling. You feel that sort of naivety in that second half of their batting innings. Still going to cost them. I still fancy Falcons here. Still think they're on top in this game, but another couple of wickets could change things. That's a good hit. Looks like 6 more.
Yeah, just
pumped it back over the bowler's head.
Just bowling too full here. You really need to bowl into the wicket, just not floating the ball up like that.
Yeah, Siddharth CB remains. Kuldeep Bisht is there with him. And that is a good clean strike.
That's a better comeback ball. That's into the wicket on a length.
Kuldeep Bisht is up to 13 off 8. 9 now. Striking some clean boundaries. And his focus will be to finish this game off. 60 for 3. 29 needed. Scampering through for another single. Leg bye signalled. Clock ticks past 4 o'clock. That happened a while ago, to be fair. Oh, it's another great shot. That's going to go into the Titans' tent, I reckon. Smashed over extra cover for 6. So Siddharth CB's had enough sitting around, and he's seen Kuldeep Bisht play a few big shots and thinks, yep, I'll have a bit of that too, thanks. This is a cracking shot. It's just too full again, Dino.
Yeah, it's a nothing ball really. Just too full and offering some width with no sweeper. That's a free hit really for someone who has been batting for the past 10 overs.
Yeah, it's into the 12th over the opening bat. 29 off 29 now. His first 6. And the Falcons all of a sudden just need another 22 runs and the required rate's down at 2.5. So this is things going the other way. Siddharth has been relatively composed, I'd say. Hasn't played the shots we usually see him play.
Yeah.
Early innings nerves, perhaps, but they should be done by now. This game really is in the position where the Falcons shouldn't lose from here. That said, we did see the Titans take something like 8 wickets for 15 runs in the first semi-final. And we've drawn ground 2. Remarkable collapse from the Rising Stars. Priya Nishan is back. Last roll of the dice, really. Probably the best bowler the Titans have. It's going to be his final over. Wickets required. Hat-trick wouldn't go amiss. Oh, that one stayed a bit low. Bit short. Didn't quite get up. Not a lot of pace in that delivery. Bottom edge of the bat. No run. 2 dots to begin with. Well, the Falcons all of a sudden decided to come and stand on the boundary edge. They're excited.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yeah, not a bad move to support the 2 guys out in the middle.
Yeah, the stands, given that we're playing on the turf deck, you can really see how far away that stands can be from the boundary. It's a nice shot, just worked into the offside for another single.
Gotten away with one there. Shot
Yes.
wide, no sweeper, dot ball. It's a win to the bowling team.
Yeah, a bit of noise at last from the supporting group. It's been pretty quiet throughout the day from both teams, I felt. Hopefully we'll see a bit of pride and joy.
Yeah, been a pretty good day out of the SOCG.
Neither of these teams have won a major final before, so you'd think they'd be up and about. Should they get over the line?
Good finals day. MKI bus tour, quite a few people coming out to watch cricket for the first time here.
Yeah, a bit of a shame. I don't know, I can't see down at the tea room, but would have hoped to have seen more of the Rising Stars and the Kawasaki Knight Riders stick around. I suppose after you've lost your semi-final, all you want to do is go home.
Yep.
Maybe they're watching on the stream. You watching, guys? Hope so.
I'm sure Vinay will be watching attentively.
Absolutely. Good chat with Vinay earlier on today before the game. My Wi-Fi seems to have stopped altogether. Sorry about that, folks. Struggling to get my replays back up and running. It's been an ongoing thing today. Using all my data. I don't need my data, Dino. What do I need it for, eh?
Part of the job, isn't it?
Isn't it? So 72 for 3. That's could be no. That's going to square the way for 4. So the inching continues. 76 on the board. 13 needed. Sid RCB's really anchored the chase. Done an excellent job. That's up in the air. That's going to be taken. It should be taken.
No, that's
It isn't taken. Not quite sure what he's done there. I think he stepped over the rope. Has he?
No, he just dropped it. Oh, did he?
He did step over the rope. 6 runs given. Falcons are definitely up and about now. Fielder's there. Drops it behind him. Horror show. Wheels have come off for the Titans. And for the Falcons, happy days indeed. 7 runs needed. That'll be one of them. 10 off 2 balls at the end of the over. Kuldeep Bisht is starting to enjoy himself. 26 off 19. 83 for 3. 6 overs to go. 6 runs needed. Looks like the Japan men's team are just finishing up their practice. Looks like I might make my 5 PM train after all, Dino. The missus will be happy.
Just in time, mate. Just in time.
What's the approach here if you're Siddharth, mate? You're 32 not out in a final. You're batting for Red Ink.
I love a red ink, mate.
Well, he's not. He wants to hit the winning runs. Crashed through backward square leg. 4 more. That's 15 runs off the last 4 deliveries. And they are motoring. Two needed. That'll be it, I reckon. Sealed with a massive 6. The Tokyo Falcons, the JCL T20 champions in 2023. Means a lot to them. They're all on the field, just whooping and hollering. They've won this game with plenty of time to spare. 5.4 overs still in the hutch, 7 wickets. Dino, what did you make of the chase? Well constructed in the end? Brief wobble in the middle?
A bit laboured, but the in-better just took them home there. This is what you need on a tricky wicket like this. Just someone to bat through and take you home.
Yeah, once you get in, easy enough to see it through. So, Tokyo Falcons are the champions. I have to go and do a presentation. That won't be on the live stream. Sorry about that. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the JCA YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'll be back before too long with more cricket. See you then.
See ya.